He said he's coming. I'll give him a few minutes.
Oh, here he is. Speak of the fucking devil.
All right.
Can you just be on time for fucking once?
I am three fucking minutes late. Fuck all y'all.
Listen, asshole. I sped through the goddamn grocery store and I grabbed shit left and right and got here 30 minutes early.
I love to listen to you two bicker, but TA, you want to hit the intro?
You are now tuned in to this week's episode of our podcast. Today we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. By sharing our collective expertise, we will show you how to harness, control, and use your own skill set to achieve ultimate success and live the life you want. And now, please welcome your host.
Welcome on back to the Anomalies podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Tanner, up in Wisconsin. We have the full crew with me tonight. Marco in Iowa, TA out in Nebraska, Flegs down in Indy, Trashman out in California, and joining us tonight, friend of the program, stand-up comedian Chris Bowers out in Los Angeles. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm in Hollywood right now. And I do have to say, guys, I forgot I was doing this, so I took a shit ton of edibles about an hour and a half ago, so I don't know what's going to happen. So
that's okay.
I have about an hour. I do these weird liquid ones now where it's like the stuff it's THC oil, and sometimes it takes like 2.5 hours. You never know how it's going to hit. Depends on how you shook it up. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so Beautiful. I'm excited to be here. How are you guys doing? Is this really wonderful. About helping people with their skill sets? I heard your intro. Is that what this podcast is about? Or is that a joke thing I found somewhere?
It depends on what your skill set is, obviously. I'm going to say that.
Gotcha.
The story is when we were launching this, we were afraid to death of the copyrights with YouTube and shit like that. So I literally Googled generic podcast intros, and I sent a couple to the group, and Tyler's like, yep, that's what we're doing.
I think it was unanimous.
That is hilarious. I love it. So because I was literally like, oh shit, we're supposed to help people on this? I was just going to talk about booze and women or whatever. So all right,
that helps.
Sometimes people.
We were doing in the sound check. Something happened that I need to talk about. Jeff, you still watch Gold Rush? Is that what you just said out loud to people?
Me? Yeah. No, I still
watch Gold Rush. Is that you, Ronnie?
Yeah.
What are they on 11 seasons? Still have found no gold.
12.
Like, what the fuck is happening? You still watch Bigfoot when they haven't found Bigfoot yet? I mean, what the?
No.
Like, do you watch shows about the G-spot? You don't know where that is either. What I'm talking about, I don't understand. Like, why you would still watch a show where they haven't found any gold in 12 seasons?
Well, so the funny thing is so I cut the cable. Like, I no longer have satellite TV. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the Discovery Plus thing, and I get on there, and I was like flipping through it, and it was like, oh, Gold Rush. So I literally started watching Gold Rush from season 1 randomly, and I just kept watching it. I don't know why.
Oh, by the way,
it makes me laugh.
I understand how you'd watch season 1. Season 12, where they haven't found any gold yet. I mean, could it be called Gold Frustration, Gold Balls? What would you call it? At this point, like, there's no gold. Like, I mean,
You're kind of right. I'm to season 4, and they're not gold mining. They're fucking mining diamonds and like
the Amazon
somewhere in South America.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like,
this is
okay.
I still thought I thought this was still that one on that island in Canada where they had that hole they found. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
what's that?
Oak Island.
Oh, that's what I thought Gold Rush was. Okay, that's if they're mining other shit, and you just like mining. I get it. I thought you were watching that Oak Island one where they dug that same hole for 125 years and haven't found any gold yet. And I'm like, you're still in season 12 of that fucking show? Jesus Christ!
I think that is in like season 12, and they still.
It is. It's still on. They've not found one goddamn thing. That's what I thought you were watching. I couldn't handle that being a thing you watched.
We need to find investors that invest in that show, Curse of Oak Island, because their return on investment, like if we could just throw some our way, and we could throw away their money just as easily as they do on that show. So,
oh yeah, like I've always said, I mean, you don't play if you're the 9th guy on the NBA bench. Just let that be some fan of the team.
Right.
Who would that be? Just let him sit on the bench. You pay him the minimum, and he's just like, your number one pacer. That guy, the guy, the Pacer hat, or the Pacer hard hat at all the Pacers game. Put him on the team. Fuck it, give him a jersey. Let him be the 9th guy on the bench. You're not going to play anyway.
Yeah.
That's
do a raffle, raise some money.
Yeah, do like a 50-50 or something, but instead of getting money, you get to play. Yeah. I could do that.
You don't get to play. I'm not going to put you in an NBA game, Ronnie.
You get to sit there.
I
don't know. I could back down LeBron James, maybe 5'9", but fuck.
The only way you could back down, LeBron James is in a sauna, Ronnie. Come on.
Should that be a new rule?
Not in a basketball court where you all have clothes on. You're not moving that motherfucker 1 inch.
If we implemented your rules that you just said, Bowers, should if another team is up by like 30, the ninth man has to play or something like that for just entertainment value.
Every team should have a Rudy, and when you get to 30, if you're down 30, everybody starts yelling Rudy until they put him in. That would be fun. Yeah, I'd get
there you go.
Yeah, and everybody cry. He's so little. It'd be great.
It'd be a blast.
My other rule is I have an NFL rule where if you don't win a playoff game for 10 years as an owner, you have to sell the team. What do you think about that one?
Ooh.
That'd be great. I'd love to fucking have my owners sell the team.
A lot of teams.
Yeah, you got to win one. You got to win one. We got to win one playoff game in 10 years, or we sell your team and give you the money.
I'm down with that. How would that work for the Packers, though?
Well, the Packers would never not go to the playoffs for 10 years. They're fucking.
We did for the 70s and 80s. We took like 20 years off.
I'm on that right now.
6 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, we've done pretty well since then. Yeah.
They would have to trade cities. Like they would just have to move.
Oh,
because
that could get interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be another city could buy them. Another city could buy them. That'd be funny.
Now the Packers are in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You know, Jerry's down there in Dallas, rubbing his fingers like, "Ooh, I'll have 2 teams." Jerry.
That could be funny.
That's
so
where
what's your team, Ronnie? I thought with a name like Trash Man, you'd be a Tampa Bay Bucks fan just because Tampa Bay.
No.
But
no, I'm a Raider fan.
That's also garbage. That makes sense too. Okay, I had my team wrong. I knew it was some
felons
sort of
rooting for felons. You get it.
Some sort of pirated themed team you would be liking, I would imagine.
Most definitely.
Powers, can you read Japanese? Is that something that I don't know about you?
Can I read Japanese? No.
Okay, you just speak it. If you notice Trash Man's sweatshirt, can you guess what that word would translate to in English?
I think it's a sentence that says 5 inches for 3 minutes.
No, that'd be a good hoodie though.
Oh my!
That'd be a great hoodie. I might make that.
That is the name of this episode. 5 inches for 3 minutes.
Write it down.
I might make that hoodie. That's. Don't tempt me.
$0. Put in dollars.
Do you guys do you guys do Teespring? You know what I'm talking about? It's like a T-shirt place. They do all the fulfillment, so you can make any shirt. And if you sell one, I mean, they cost like $30. You only get like 10, but they ship it, they print it. You don't have to like buy a bunch, so you can make all kinds of random T-shirts. That the show I'm on, we do. Every time anything funny happens, we make it into a fucking T-shirt. Sometimes we sell 2, sometimes we sell 5. You know.
Hey Marco, how's our merch line doing?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bowers. Appreciate
Oh, sorry. Is this a Marco? Were you supposed to do the merch 3 months ago, but you've been late on the fucking merch, like you were for being on the podcast? Is that what's happening?
There we go.
I'll screen print them myself. We don't need to spend all this goddamn money. I have a screen print machine. I was doing it in my garage. Just fucking tell me. I don't need to be wasting fucking $7 a shirt when you can just buy ink for $2 and make your own goddamn shirts. You guys are fucking idiots. 9 months later, they have no merch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the edibles have officially hit.
You have no idea how spot on you are.
Me and Bowers both took edibles, and they all kicked in at once.
No, we just all have a friend named Marco who won't buy anything. He's going to do everything himself and never does anything. His whole house is full of... Like my buddy bought my house and he fixed it all up, but it's all exposed 2x4s that aren't painted. I'm like, this is not the same fucking thing, man. I know you fix the stairs, but paint them or put carpet or do something. What the fuck are you doing?
Good God.
Yeah. Well, that's story of Marco. We've given him one responsibility, literally, since we started it, make our own merch. Because all he does is brag about this merch guy.
Because clearly being on time is not a responsibility of his.
No,
so,
no, we even tolerate him being late.
What's the merch you're supposed to be doing? That is he like dragging his feet on deciding what it is, or have you guys figured out a T-shirt and he just hasn't screen printed it yet because he's a dick?
Marco, why don't you take this one?
So
what happened was
we've expanded our network, so we have other shows that we're working with, and we want to have a whole web store and all that. So I have a guy.
I have a guy.
Everyone has a guy.
So I have a guy who can print some shit, and he wants to be responsible for doing the drop ship and everything. The same as
Teespring,
like the Teespring, yeah. But where we would get 50% of the profit, whatever that is. Which I used to be in the screen printing business, so I know what the profit is.
No, of course you did. I've never met a screen. No, your face yells screen printer so hard, like just like Ronnie's a garbage man. You know that right when you fucking meet him, you can tell, right? And you can just. You can give me a deal on my T-shirts. I get it. I like that. Here's my question: Is your T-shirt guy the same as your weed guy? Because that could be your problem. You don't want to combine your guys. You want to have a separate guy. You don't have a jack of all trades guy because then you don't have anything. Your Coke dealer can't also be your pool guy. Is all I'm saying. Like you gotta separate your life.
So
wait, really?
I didn't realize this was a come to Jesus kind of podcast. But
hey, I'm supposed to be helping people with my skill set, right? I listen to the intro. That's what I'm trying to do.
Bowers has been fucking hitting a nail on the head all night. Holy shit. He's my weak guy. He's my weak
guy. This is awesome.
After this is done, hey Marco, you're staying on so we can have a little fucking intervention.
I think the shirt says the Anomalies podcast on the front. The back says my shirt guy is my weed guy.
Notes. Thank you, Tanner.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh shit.
Or just have the logo cocked sideways like this.
Yeah. That's perfect. It's your logo on the front sideways or upside down, and the back says my shirt guy's also my weed guy.
The thing is, that fits so perfectly for one of our other pods too. Like this could be like across the network. Oh, so good.
This might be my favorite moment of any podcast we've ever recorded right now.
Damn it.
Tanner's just now realizing that your shirt guy's your weed guy, and now he knows why the shirts aren't here. Look at his face. He's so mad right now.
Marco's owed this guy money for 9 months. That's why he hasn't fucking done it.
It's because Marco's also a weed guy, so I smoke a lot and I forget shit sometimes, man.
Yeah, okay. Anytime you see this guy, you like owe him money, so you're nervous. Then you forget to bring up the one thing that could make you money. What a pain in the dick, dude.
We didn't even get around to what Ronnie's shirt actually says.
At this point, he may have forgotten.
It doesn't fucking matter at this point.
In Japanese, it says my shirt guy's also my weed guy.
Do we name this episode 5 inches for 3 minutes, or do we name it my shirt? It's also my week.
We're going to split this into 2 shorter podcasts. 2 segments.
I think my weed kicked in.
I think so. Yeah. That wasn't that funny.
Oh God,
Tyler, you may have just missed the best 15 minutes of the Anomalies ever.
Yeah.
And it's all Marco's fault.
Then how's that sound? You know?
It all started with what's on my hoodie, like literally.
Yeah.
And then I called every bit of Marco's life. I just reached into his soul and I showed him all his weaknesses all at once, right in front of him while his heart was in my hand. It was pretty impressive.
Which part was it? 1, 2, or 3?
Huh?
No, they told me he was in charge of the shirts. He's been in charge of the merch that he hasn't done forever because his merch guy is also his weed guy, and we just can't. We got to the bottom of it, and Tanner's mad at him. Now why you guys don't have shirts?
It's always like a constant state of being mad at Marco, but now like it's a legitimate reason. And I don't even think I'm mad. I'm just.
Marco's that guy. Listen, Marco's that guy that while you're with him, and I've hung out with Marco twice, a couple times. But while you're hanging out with Marco, like, the whole time you're pretty sure he's going to make you all go to jail.
Yeah.
But and you're telling him to shut the fuck up, sit down, stop doing. What are you doing, right? But the next day, that's when all the stories come from, right? Was Marco being an asshole? So like, if it was just fucking you guys, you wouldn't even have any fun. You just sit at a bar and you'd fucking talk about sports or whatever. And you go home. But it's Marco that almost gets you guys murdered that makes you fucking go, remember last night when Marco fucking poked that bouncer in the chest and then told him he fucking, whatever? Like, that's what makes all the good story. You need that guy in your group, or you're not like, remember when we drove home responsibly? That sucks. You don't want that. You need the Marco guy to fucking
been there.
Fuck everything up.
Marco's weed guy is short on his distributor, and so he sends the guy after Marco, and he shows up at the bar, and we're all, just at his mercy.
Hey, Todd's gonna be here in a couple of days, so he'll help me out.
So here's a legitimate question on this whole merch guy, weed guy conversation. Powers, maybe I actually want your insight.
Okay.
Did I also
if Marco ends up
what's up? His weed guy is also his computer guy too.
No, that's a different guy.
Oh, thank God.
How many guys?
Wait. That's also he's also a weed guy. It's a different weed guy.
Well, he's also a weed guy.
He has a weed computer guy and a weed shirt guy.
I pay my computer guy with weed, so he's still a weed guy, but it's the other way around.
So your computer guy is weed guy.
I'm my computer guy's weed guy.
What's funny is Marco knows how much weed it takes to buy anything in America. Like, he's like, oh, you want to buy a fucking 2002 fucking Ford Focus? That is 6.5 pounds of weed. Like, he knows exactly he can just convert everything into weed dollars at any moment.
It's like a pound and a half, maybe.
When we had Sean Latham on here the last time, he was kind of literally explaining. He's like, if you need me to do any type of math, he's like, you got to break it down in weed, because otherwise I'm useless. But if you need me to do fractions or decimals to like the 9th decimal, I got it. You just tell me to break it down in weed. I could see Marco being like the Rain Man of weed terms.
I'm like that with pizza. I can break anything into pizza terms. I can figure everything out with pizza. That's
I get that.
Oh, now pizza sounds good. God damn it.
So anyway, what was your merch question there, Tanner?
Well, okay, so obviously his merch guy is his weed guy. If and when Marco starts owing this guy money for his merch or for his weed, is it responsible to assume that this merch guy, weed guy, is going to just start taking the debt from Marco out of the profits?
I mean, here's what I would do. I would not give Marco any responsibility or money.
Thanks, man.
So, like, I think you just. By the way, there's weed guys and shirt guys everywhere, Tanner. So just find your own shirt guy and fucking cut out the middleman or the fucking
Marco.
Yeah, he's like the Mitch McConnell. Marco's like the Mitch McConnell of this operation. He's just fucking keeping it all stagnant, so you can't get anything done.
But he's consistent, man. He is just always Marco.
Well, normally it's your pizza guy is your weed guy, though. So if you call your pizza guy knows a weed guy. Your weed guy will get you in touch with the shirt guy. We're good. So
my pizza guy's where I get my orgasms. That's a whole different guy.
Oh shit! Damn, that's important.
I'm just hoping his weed guy doesn't do any fronting. Like, just gives you the product beforehand, say, "Oh, you won." That's all we gotta hope for.
God damn.
I think you find your own shirt guy. I think is my point.
That's good advice. To come full circle, Trash Man, what does your shirt say?
Oh, it just says trash across the chest.
That's so anticlimactic.
Yeah, no, I made this hoodie just so people in the grocery store would ask me what it says across the chest, because you see Japanese writing and you're like, oh, he's cultured. No, it just says trash across my chest. Pretty on brand.
I'm not sure that's Japanese writing. I think you just went to a Walmart and said, no. Do you have any Japanese letters that you can iron on a sweatshirt? They're like, no, sure, those are Japanese. That's just.
I have a shirt guy. I actually designed it.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Well, if
it's
anything like Marco's, we have a lot to go off of.
We went to Babelfish and got the symbol translation and just lit it up on the wall and just taped, and then took it to Walmart and said, need this.
Or he went to Walmart and said, do you have a sweatshirt that says trash in Japanese? And they were like, of course we do. It's Walmart. Yes, it's right over there in the trash section.
Walmart has everything.
We sold 4 of those this week.
Right?
All right. Bowers, I'm going to let you pick the first topic, because we did actually talk about a couple topics beforehand. Okay. So do you want to talk about reality show hypotheticals, or do you want to talk about wedding song hypotheticals first?
Define hypotheticals. What do you mean?
Kind of like a what-if scenario.
Let's do the reality show one.
All right. Wonderful, because that's how I had it written down here. Okay. This is really basic, but if you had to choose any reality show to be on right now, what would it be and why? Silence is good for podcasts.
I think I'd go on Pleasure Island because it'd be hilarious.
Jesus Christ!
All these people go on this, like you're supposed to have hot people are going to cheat with, and it's just me, 47, in a Speedo. Like, hey, anybody want to try some new dick?
I would watch that for the first time ever.
3 minutes.
Oh, damn.
For me, 5 inches is 3 minutes is fucking her twice, but that's okay.
Not bad.
But no, I think that's what I would do. I think it'd be funny. I also think it'd be funny to go on The Bachelor and just pick one girl the first night.
Right.
And just blow all the rest of them off. Just basically date a woman on national television, give her the rose every night, don't even talk to any of the rest of them. All the fantasy suites are her. You just pick her the first night. That's how we all do. There's one pretty girl at the bar likes us. That's our wife. So just do that. That's what the show is.
I love it.
The show's called First Girl That Talks to Me at the Bar Is My Wife. It's a pretty simple concept. It's played in the Midwest every single day.
Good God.
Yeah. Anyone else besides Pleasure Island got anything?
So I came up with this hypothetical because for some god-awful reason, I think it'd be cool to be a gold miner in Alaska. I don't know.
Oh, here we go.
It's because you've been watching Gold Rush all day, dude. What do you mean you don't know why you thought of that?
Yeah, but most of the time you watch these shows and you're just like, I don't know about that, Chief. And I'm watching this and I'm like, there's some pretty fat guys out there doing this. I think I can do it. I think it'd be fun. Maybe make some money.
Yeah, gold digging would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I already panned for joking.
Yeah, it'd also be cool, like live in the wilderness and not have heat or stuff.
I've done that before. It's not the best, but it's doable.
Right. So,
Marco, just because you wouldn't bring heat if you went to the woods doesn't mean the rest of us wouldn't bring our own heat.
Exactly.
Marco, it's not like I picked Deadliest Catch and I'm on a fucking boat.
Marco's like,
I'm in Alaska.
I hate camping. I hate laying on the ground in the woods by myself at night. Like, no, bring a tent and shit, dude. What are you doing?
You're blowing Marco's mind.
I have an air mattress. It's fine.
Sure. Not. I don't want to talk about your stuff at your house. We're talking about camping, dude.
Right.
I don't want to talk about your actual bed, which is probably an air mattress.
I feel like if I were to choose one, it's not technically a reality show, but it's probably about as scripted as a reality show, is like Ancient Aliens. I want to be like one of those crazy guys, just like making up stuff about history and pretending like I'm an expert in that field.
Flex, I for sure thought you were going to say drunk history. You'd be great on that.
Oh, yeah. But I am one glass down there. Yeah, that'd work too.
Oh God.
I think I'm going on The Voice. People would feel bad for me. I don't have a good voice and I'm ugly, so I think I could get through the first couple rounds, and I'd be entertaining enough. I think I'd woo one of the judges.
What's the guy who's on Idol who like basically made it big because he was horrible?
Are you talking about that? They voted for as a joke. Yeah, Sanjay. They voted for as a joke.
Yeah, they got curly.
The Voice is that one where they don't see your face for a while, so I could say you can do that one, Tanner.
Oh, see, perfect.
Yeah.
Or the Masked Singer.
I've actually heard him sing live at a bar here locally, and it was an interesting adventure, I will say. I think Tanner would make it past the first round.
I don't know. I'm going to hear a couple bars. I'm going to have to hear a couple bars. Do Wrecking Ball. Go.
I came in like a What do you think?
That's pretty good. I'm
just
not
put
gonna
on a diaper and swing it.
Yeah, I'm not going to swing. I'm not going to swivel around my chair, but I'd probably vote for you to be on my team. Sure, let's go.
Appreciate that. Marco, don't kiss my ass just because I'm mad at you.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will. TA, Marco, what reality show you guys going on?
I don't.
Just say Weed Country and fucking get it over with, bud.
I would just say the Ultimate Fighter and get it over with.
I don't really watch a lot of. No, fuck Ultimate Fighter. I would never go on that show. Why would anybody ever want to go on that show?
Trash Man. Could this be? I might go on Shark Tank with my paintball idea. Did I tell you guys at all about I came up with like the greatest business idea of all time.
Let's hear this.
Let's hear it.
You guys know what paintball is, obviously?
Yes.
Okay.
Of paintball.
You guys know what Thanksgiving is?
We've heard of Thanksgiving, yes.
All right. This is important to know. Otherwise, it won't make any sense. But
I like how you're like, do you know what Thanksgiving is?
Take the paintballs, remove the paint, insert Thanksgiving food in said balls. Mashed potatoes, gravy, pumpkin pie, cranberries, yams. And then you find those families who fight at Thanksgiving or holidays in general. You know, like the ones where the kids flip the table and shit. They went viral on YouTube. You get them to agree to go on whatever, a half hour, 1 hour reality show. First 10 minutes, you give them the background, show the video, build up the drama. And then you get racist Uncle Todd and bitchy nephew Alan, whatever, to be the two captains who hate each other, and then they're going to pick the families the rest of the family to make teams. One team will be the Pilgrims, one will be the Turkeys or some shit. I don't know. And then you're just going to go around blasting each other with paintballs filled with Thanksgiving food. The winning team gets to be the winner of the argument.
Yeah, but okay.
Come on.
I love
holes in this one.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, are you shooting the food into their mouths?
No.
It's like a baby bird type. So you're just hitting a guy in the ass with potatoes? Like, why would put food in the paintballs? How about the team? I mean, I say the team that wins gets to eat all the food, but why would you waste all the food?
No, you don't waste the food in the paintballs is whatever. You can eat the food later. You can eat your meal later. But this is to settle the argument, settle the fight.
Gotcha. Now is the shell around the paintball just that pudding skin with potatoes in it? Is that what you're
saying? Very good, baby. Now,
or is it plastic? Because you can't eat the plastic paintballs, but
I don't think you're eating the paintballs. Although I did think about what if it's like an instant win. You know, like when you're playing dodgeball, and if you catch the ball, the other person who threw it is out. What if you What if you really fucking hate your uncle and you want to catch one in the yap? I mean, you're willing to sacrifice teeth and everything. Give me the pumpkin pie, you racist fuck. I mean, I can see it. A couple additions that are
See, here's what I'm thinking.
Like,
you do one of those, those water weasels that where the sprinkler thing you jump through as a kid.
Oh yeah.
You do that, but with gravy.
That's
your Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Right. You jump through a gravy fountain with your potatoes. That would be kind of fun. While your family shoots you with fucking stuffing paintballs.
And see, the loser could be like there could be a punishment on the line. Like
I think if you lose, you don't get to eat. I think if you win, you get to eat.
Maybe. Or what if you had like a catapult full of mashed potatoes and gravy, and the winner got to launch it onto the loser? Something like that. There's got to be an embarrassment factor.
Yeah.
Like a slime factor from the OG Nickelodeon days.
How about mashed potato snowman? Captain of the winning team has to fuck it.
Okay. Honestly, that could make this the next level. This is why I wanted to bring it up. But I think I could pitch it to like TBS or TNT, or whatever channel the Watt brothers have like that tag game on or whatever. Fuck tag. Who doesn't want to watch families fight? It's like a holiday food fight paintball. It'd be awesome.
The food fight I like. I just don't see it put in paintballs. But hey, maybe fucking let's go, dude. I'll do it. I'll watch.
Well, it's gotta be some
that's a
type of
Netflix
sport.
show. It's a Netflix show.
Yeah, okay. And you could do any holiday.
What about you have to have your uncle under the circle of the cornhole board, and you're throwing muffins and shit through the hole? Right? He's under there with his mouth.
You could turn this into a food fight bonanza, goddammit.
Yeah, like a food fight Olympics or something.
I feel like if
you
you're going
go.
to use muffins, you should have a potato shooter, a potato gun.
Oh, yeah, like a spud gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about like a spud gun full of like mashed potatoes and gravy, or like stuffing on the paintball course. And like in battle bots, there's house bots. You just have like the grandma or something that's neutral. She's just there. If you run past her, you're getting blasted. I'm just saying. There's a lot of ways that you could take this. And if it's capture the flag, like the flag could be cornucopia or something. I mean, you could totally make this Thanksgiving theme, but you could do any holiday. Like Christmas, 4th of July would be easy. Hot dogs and Jello shots and shit. And
I'm starting to think you're serious. Is this? You
I'm
actually
dead
think this is a good idea?
Serious as a heart attack.
No, Bowers, get this. So
I
a few
called
weeks
Ronnie.
ago, he calls me, and I'm in the car with my wife going to get coffee, and we're down there at my in-laws' place, and I'm driving, me and my wife going to get coffee, and I see Tanner. I had a missed call from Tanner. I'm like, oh, I'll call him back real quick. Call him back, and he's like, I have a really just out there idea. And he starts explaining this to me, and I look over at my wife, and my wife has her hand over her face laughing. And she's like, I'm just like, I like it. If it can make her laugh, I'm in. So
what's a better idea? Having Thanksgiving paintball or having your t-shirt guy also be your weed guy?
I'm still going with Tanner's idea. Tanner's idea is still better than Marco's idea, for sure. I'm about 3% on Tanner's idea. I mean, I like the idea of some sort of food fight holiday show. That's kind of fun, like I'm looking at like a Nickelodeon type kid show where like they slime each other, but it was with gravy, and like that could be kind of fun. The paintball, I just don't know why you put mashed potatoes in a paintball. I just don't. That's the part I'm not, But I don't know there's technology to do that.
You could do like
logistics will figure themselves out. These shows have big budgets.
Sure.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay, all right, I'm with you. My Shark Tank idea is I'd like a salsa jar that is like a deodorant. So when you twist the bottom, the floor comes up, so you don't have to stick your hand in the jar and get cheese on your hand. How fucking great would that be?
Oh,
that could be applicable to a lot lot of things, though.
A lot of
queso,
shit, right?
queso,
sour cream. Okay, I mean
fucking
every
Pringles cans.
Pringles cans.
Pringles cans
They
have
could
needed
make
those for decades.
Yeah.
If they could make a Pringles can like my 270s ammo clip where you can actually push it up, it'd be great.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Pringles actually makes the can the size they do for safety. Because if you get fat enough, you can't get your hand in there, then you should stop eating Pringles. They don't want to get sued for giving people heart attacks, so they put a fucking kids. There's child safe caps on aspirin. This is a fat safe fucking can.
Get in my mouth. I've drank a number of Pringle cans before.
I figured this out this week. This is kind of a fucked up thought. Did you know what the in the original in the 50s and 60s what the roll and rock and roll stood for? Like what kids meant when they said rock and roll?
No.
The roll meant fucking. It was a euphemism for sex. That's why the parents hated it all. And when the baby boomers all had kids, they lied to us and didn't tell us that part. It was basically the Netflix and chill of the 50s. The chill's the fucking, right? I mean, like, so that's That's what the roll was. That's why parents didn't rock and roll. That's why they were against rock and roll, because the roll part was them having sex as teenagers. And then when they had kids, they didn't tell us because they're fucking liars. I hate baby boomers. Anyway, that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
Holy shit.
So sex, drugs, and rock and roll is essentially an OG part of rock and roll.
What I'm saying, eventually rock and roll became its own thing, but originally rock and roll was the music plus the sex is what rock and roll was in the 50s. That's why they hated Elvis, because he like moved like he was fucking.
Hey,
that was what
daddy
the rock
don't
and roll
dance
was
and your
about.
mama don't rock and roll. Huh. That checks out.
Yeah, so it's anyway, interesting fact I learned today.
Damn.
All right, you got more scenarios, Tanner? I got 20 minutes here. What we got?
Yeah, of course you do. All right, you've been married at least
Twice,
once.
yes.
Twice,
Yep,
okay.
a couple times.
If you got to redo it, if you say you're getting married and after you say I do, what song do you want to play as you're going down for the next one?
For the next wedding?
Yeah. If you got to redo it or for the next one, however you want to look at it. But
I thought you meant
let's cut the cookie cutter shit.
I was thinking if I was at my second wedding, what song would I play for my third wedding? I thought I was already getting divorced from this theoretical. Well, I said at my first wedding, which was in 1996, I convinced all of my, or 98 maybe. No, it was 96. I convinced all of my friends that our first slow song was going to be Medium Pace by Adam Sandler. So I don't know if you ever heard that song, but it's like it starts by put your arms around me, baby. Yeah. Can't you tell I love you so? Put your head against my skin. I'm about to begin loving you. And then goes, now pull up my scrotum and pull that shampoo bottle out of my ass. It's like that quick. Like that's like the second verse, but still, like it's just like play with my balls and tell me how big they are. So anyway, so like the first half of that verse is not dirty, and I had all the people at my wedding convinced that was gonna be our first song, and I was 23, and I'm still crazy now. People were like, if anybody's gonna do that, it'd be fucking Bowers. And then I swear to God, my first wedding had 450 people at it. 420 of them were under 25. It was basically a fraternity barn dance that her parents paid for. It was insane. Like we had a whole other room for just shots and shit. But anyway, fucking they started Medium Pace during our first slow song, and people went fucking bananas. And then the DJ went, no, I'm kidding. I'm not going to play that song. And then he played whatever our first song was. But it was a hilarious joke because it was like right when that song was huge, and people were like, there's no fucking, he did it! Oh my God, he did it! People were high-fiving and shit. They couldn't fucking believe it. Because I've done a bunch of other crazy shit. We did like the Bulls intro. And now a 6'2" sophomore from Ball State University at Groomsman, Lance Vio! Like we did that whole thing. So after all that, they were expecting Medium Pace. Anyway, and then I was engaged to my second wife for like 6 years, so she walked down the aisle to At Last, which was pretty funny. It's because we were together 6 years before we got married.
That's funny.
If I could walk down the aisle, so this is after the ceremony?
After the ceremony, give a kiss, you're coming back, instead of da 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 da. What would you walk down to? So I'll give mine. In thinking of this is my scenario. What I imagined was we'd walk down the aisle, and there's a hot rod at the end of the aisle, and kind of like the Tawny Kitaen for Here I Go Again.
Sure.
I'm looking at the lyrics, though, of Here I Go Again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. It's not the most appropriate, but I just was like picturing my wife as we walk down the aisle, just crawling all over this car and having a good time. The music video.
Your wife is the Tawny. Your wife is the Tawny Kitaen. I thought you and your wife were walking out to a sports car that had Tawny Kitaen on it, and I'm like, wow, your wife's pretty cool in this scenario. Jesus.
I was hoping my wife would be the Tawny, but looking at the lyrics, probably not the most appropriate based on the lyrics. So that's a fail on my part.
Three-way on your wedding night's hard to pull off, my friend. That is a tough ask.
Legend.
That'd be like those Real Men of Genius Coors Lights commercials. He had a three-way on his wedding night. Real Men of Genius.
Oh my God. Oh Oh shit! All right. Does anyone have an answer to this question now that we've all pictured Flegs and having a three-way?
My girlfriend now, Chrissy and I, we've been together 10 years, and she doesn't want to get married. But if she did, our song is "All I Do Is Win, Win, Win." So I think that'd be a fun one to go out.
There we go.
Out on.
That'd be pretty sweet.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. That'd be kind of fun to walk out of a church towards, you know.
Trash Man, did you do something funny or redneck, or and if you didn't, I'd spare me. But what would you do? Because I'm sure you've thought about this already.
Well, in the background of our wedding, there was nothing but Merle Haggard and Hank playing.
I was waiting.
That was from the barbecue.
Sure. Was your first dance Jolene? Because I'm assuming it was Jolene.
No.
John Deere Green.
No, our first dance was to Ice Ice Baby, and neither of us wanted to dance.
Oh my god!
But we were both really fucked up, and we were like,
at your first dance, you were already fucked up?
Oh god, yes.
It's a wedding.
He said he was a Raiders fan, Bowers.
I guess that's true. You probably pre-gamed outside the stadium and beat people up before you went to your own wedding that wasn't even at the Raiders stadium.
So one of my groomsmen almost ruined the whole reception hall before we even got married. He fucking was carrying one of those big Gatorade totes full of sangria through the fucking deal, and he tripped over a fucking cord for the PA system, and it threw it all over like 7 tables. It was fucking great. My mother-in-law was not happy about that. She was like, are you fucking kidding me? She spent all this time setting it up, and it took us 25 minutes to put it back together, but yeah.
That's like
so. What was? Why'd you dance? Why'd you dance to Ice Ice Baby if neither one of you wanted to dance?
Well, we weren't gonna have a first dance, so we were just like, we're not doing a first dance. We just opened the dance floor, and then tequila came out and moonshine came out.
So this wasn't the first dance of the wedding. This was your first dance after you were fucked up, like at the end before everybody went home.
No, it was pretty early on. We were only like 30 minutes into the fucking deal. We were getting after it, and like there was a couple of people dancing, and then next thing you know, like Ice Ice Baby came on, and anytime that song comes on, I start dancing. So I went out there and started dancing, and then for some reason my wife came out and started dancing, and then next thing you know, that's our first dance now.
I think the funniest thing about humans is that when we're the most excited about something, like it's going to be the coolest night, whether it's our wedding or we're going to the game or we're going to the concert, those are the nights we decide to get blacked out and not fucking remember anything. Like, black out on a Tuesday when it doesn't matter. Don't black out at your wedding. What are you doing?
Like,
you spent $25,000 not remember anything? What the fuck is happening?
I remember about 95% of that night. My wife.
Okay, I mean, that's
my wife, we were sitting there talking like 2 days after when we were talking about something, and she had she's not from around here, so her friends came up for the wedding, and she was visiting with her friends at one of the tables. And she's like, yeah, it was nice to, talk to so-and-so and so-and-so for like 2 minutes, like a couple minutes. Like, you were there for 2 hours. She's like, there's no way I was there for 2 hours. I'm like, no, we have a wedding videographer. Like, you were there for a while. I can go through timestamps. And she was like, really? And we started going through it. And she's like, she shows up there at like 8 o'clock. And she didn't leave that table until almost 10. She's like, I don't remember that at all.
Okay. Here's the idea, Tanner. Here's the $1 million idea. I love this. We should just hire our videographer from our wedding to just follow you around the rest of your marriage, and then anytime there's a fight, watch the fucking tape. We'll time code this shit. No. Play it back. I told her I was going to be home at 11:30. Did I not? Play it back. And then it's like, I'll be home at 11:30. Like, see? Fucking, you have your own, that's the idea. Instant replay for your life.
I need that.
Your wife only gets the husband and wife only each get 2 challenges a fucking day unless they win their first challenge and they get a third one. I love it.
Marco,
my memory is so bad.
Twice if we had that.
But then the players union shows up and they fucking ruin everything.
You're bribing the videographer.
Yeah.
My wife essentially has a photographic memory, and
they all do. Hey,
awful memory. I think it's just a tactic. I think it's a tactic. They all lie. They don't actually have it, but they convince us that they do have it. And I really wish I had a videographer for all of these arguments, because I swear to God, I am not wrong 100% of the time, but it turns out I am.
What a
I
claim.
swear to God, at the end of my
not
grandpa,
wrong 100% of the time.
my grandpa Fred was one of the coolest dudes ever, and he died at like 95. And my grandma and him used to argue all the time. And like the last couple of years, I got him this system where if he told her something, he'd write it on a card and put it in her fucking pocket, like on an index card, and vice versa. And then if she was like, "You didn't say you were going to the mall," he'd be like, "Is that your card, motherfucker?" It's a perfect system.
Oh, that's great.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it worked great because they both had all. Actually, they thought my grandfather had dementia for like a couple years, and then one Lent he gave up booze for Lent, and turns out he just was drunk. He was when he sobered up for 30 days, he was fucking, or 40 days, he was fucking sharp as a tack. And then after they realized that he wasn't fucking didn't have dementia, he was just drunk. My grandma made him start drinking again because she didn't like him remembering everything.
Yes, I love it.
They were a great pair, man. It was my step grandpa, but fucking one time they went golfing, and my grandpa hits a fucking. He would shoot. He started shooting his age when he was 67, and he would shoot his age consistently. So like that was his goal. His whole life was always, he hit 60. So like he was 85, he was shooting 85. Like he always shot his age. He was just amazing. So he puts this drive out in the middle of the fairway, and they just can't find it. He's like, "I'm not going to lose this fucking ball." Like, you ever lose one in the fairway? You're like, "No, I hit this shot good. This was a good shot. I'm not losing this fucking ball, goddammit. I didn't slice into the fucking woods. What are we doing?" And so they look for it for like 10 minutes. Finally, the Rangers come over. You got to go. You got to go. They live on the golf course. They can't tell me to go fuck. It's their people. You know what I mean? And finally, my grandma's just set it down. If we find it, just hit a provisional. If we set it down, we'll get it. So he finally hits one, and he's still pissed. As they drive away, the Rangers like, "Hey!" My grandma had parked on his ball. That's why they couldn't find it.
Oh no!
And not like in the middle of the car, like ran over it. Like it was plugged. It was in the thing. He was like, "Really? You fucking ran over my ball?" Because they couldn't see it.
That'd be the other perk of a videographer, is you just have like your own blooper reel at all times. That would have been awesome. That would have been the perfect time to have a videographer.
Yeah, I'm honestly hoping that's what heaven is you just watch the video of your life back from your own perspective. You know what I mean? Like that'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
You know, how many parts aren't you watching? This question is not for Marco because I don't want to take it to 4 hours. But
between ages 12 and 15. Yeah, like the awkward middle school, early high school days. Yeah.
You don't want to see a teenage boy jerking off. That's a good call. Nice work.
Yeah,
it's a 3-minute video call. So Bowers, I know you got to take off. I know you got to take off soon, Bowers. But the last time you were on, I don't know if you recall this or not, but I work at a corporate indie job in downtown Indy, and literally we wrapped up a pretty long session with you on the podcast, and the very next day was my employee appreciation day, and you and another comedian friend of yours were doing a Zoom comedian show for our company. And,
really?
Yeah, I tried to message you on the Zoom app.
I don't watch the chat usually because I just want to be focused. Sorry, man. What company was it?
Gregory and Appel.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, we did a lot of those Zoom shows early. That's fun. Which one was it? Which friend was it? Was it Chris Howe, or was it Steve or Ben? Was it like a?
I want to say it was Steve. Okay. Off the top of my head,
redheaded angular dude looks like the eagle from the Muppets.
Maybe not. I don't know. But all I remember is you come on, you introduce yourself, and you say, "Hey, just make sure you don't put yourself on mute. We want to hear you laugh. We want to have you a good time. This and that." And then the CEO comes on right afterwards. "Hey, everybody. Out of common courtesy, make sure you mute yourself." Make sure. And you're like, no. Hold on. No,
I do. I remember that. I do remember that. That's hilarious.
So I had a little bit of a deja vu, and I was like, I took a picture and I sent it to the guys here, and like, fucking Bowers, man, over here killing it with my agency, and yeah, it was a good time.
That was fun. Yeah, those were the early days of Zoom, man. It was fucking wild West, dude.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
It feels like years ago now, but
doesn't it? Like the last year
year.
seems like it. I mean, like we're coming up to 1 year. And
Literally.
it's like, you know, like March 16th was the first day that I stayed in. You know, that was a pandemic day, so we're almost there, man. So it's fucking crazy that we made it.
That is wild. I didn't think about that.
Where is your comedy? I know we're wrapping up, so it'll give you a chance.
I mean, I got a little bit of time. I mean, what'd you say?
Where's your comedy going?
Well, you know, I mean, over the pandemic, I saw the Showtime special on the Comedy Store, and I kind of like just realized that, and I kind of always knew this, but like that's all I really want. And I just want to be a guy that goes to the Comedy Store every night and works on shit. Like I love just talking about new stuff and doing bits and working on shit, and that's really kind of what I want to do. I mean, I'm loving this online stuff. I think the cool stuff about, one thing about Zoom comedy is I've not learned how to write on Zoom comedy because, one, everything's recorded, and a lot of times when you start with a joke, you're being an asshole, and then you shave it down until people will like it. You know what I mean? Because you got to be edgy to be funny, at least I do. And so, like, the point is, like, okay, this joke about domestic violence, for instance, might be too harsh, and I got to figure out how to make it tolerable or work, right? But I don't want to do that on something that's recorded, especially now. You know what I mean? Because, oh, look at this video of this guy being a total asshole. It's like, well, yeah, the joke wasn't done. That's what people never understand about any of this stuff. That when jokes leak, it's not like it's a song that you wrote in your basement and it was done and then you came out and played it as a debut. Like, you have to do jokes in front of people or you can't tell. So anyway, and then I also need, the other problem is I have some fans now, finally. I've got a decent amount of fans, not thousands, but a couple, 30 or 40 that will come to anything I do, but it's the same people. So I can't do the same jokes over and over again.
Yeah.
So what I think is going to be really cool once everything opens up again is I'm going to write comedy in Hollywood at different venues. So the problem with Hollywood is you can't make any money doing comedy here because, like, when Joe Rogan does a set at the Comedy Store, I think he gets like $38, right? Like, it's like,
God
28
damn.
It's,
Holy
because
shit.
they just don't pay anything here because they're all showcase clubs and everybody just wants to get into them. So I mean, like, you know, the Improv pays $25, the Laugh Factory costs, I mean, per set or whatever. Now they're only 10-minute sets, 20-minute sets, but still. Anyway, my point is, I can write material out here and then do a Zoom show once a month where I do a new 30 or 40 minutes and sell a couple hundred tickets, and now I can make some money doing comedy. So I think that's the kind of for me, that's going to be the pipeline where I develop it in the real world, but then real world jokes work on the internet perfectly. I don't know yet if internet jokes work in the real world. I haven't been able to test that as much. Like when you guys saw me in Appleton, I was working on jokes I'd worked on Zoom and they worked live. So I think it'll work, but I know it works the other way. So that's how I'm going to probably start once I can get out again. But you know, I'm doing this. If you guys like me, I'm doing this Social Distancing Social Club 4 days a week. We do that Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. If you go to SDSC, so Social Distancing Social Club, SDSCshow.com, you can catch the streams. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then noon Pacific on Saturday. So check that out. I've got a podcast. Well, it's not a podcast. We're kind of switching now, guys, from podcast to digital events. So we're doing this so basically we call it origin stories. This guy, you guys will love this story. So we're doing it's called origin stories. We have 2 comics a show on our show. We've been doing it for almost a year now. We've done 210 episodes or whatever it is. So we have a bunch of comics been on a bunch. So people love them. So me and Rachel, who's the woman on our show that does all our tips and stuff, reads all our tips. Me and her are doing an interview show called Origin Stories. It's a ticket event on Zoom, 6 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays. And so originally our tagline was, it's called Origin Stories. It was kind of a superhero thing. So it was finding the metaphorical dead parents in the metaphorical alley of our guests' lives was the tagline. I thought that was funny. It's a Batman joke. So we had Jamie Kennedy. We had Jamie Kennedy on last week, who's from Scream and whatever, and he's a buddy of mine, and he's been on our show a bunch. So it was like our 3rd podcast. So he's on Wednesday. So I'm flying home on Saturday. I get a text. I'm on the plane, and he's like, "What's up with this tweet, man?" And I go, "Oh, it's that show you're on next week." And he goes, "No, I mean, what's up with the tweet?" And I look at it, and it's our line, trying to find the metaphorical dead parents in the metaphorical alley. I'm like, "Oh, it's a Batman joke, origin stories. It's about superheroes, blah, blah, blah. We're trying to find your..." He goes, oh, okay, that makes total sense. Because both my parents are dead, and I just didn't know how you knew that.
Oh, fuck.
I was like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. And by the way, out of context, if you don't know the joke I'm making, then like it just looks like he goes, oh, I thought it was a podcast where you just interviewed comics with dead parents. I didn't know what this was about.
What a...
I felt so terrible. I'm like, I'll take down the tweet. We'll change the line. Oh my God, I'm such an asshole. It didn't occur to me that all these comics' parents would be dead. I'm such a fucking dick.
Yo.
The only time I think I've ever felt like stupider was one time. You remember Jeff George played for the Colts? He was like the number one draft pick, and he was from Indianapolis. Then he like sucked, and he was terrible. He went to the Raiders, was okay for a second, but like he was just bad with the Colts. He was a bust. So one day I'm at the Indianapolis airport, and I'm in line, and the guy in front of me is like, you know, sometimes people have to take shit out of their bags. It's too heavy. So he's like getting all the shit out of his bag or whatever. And the lady goes, Jeff George? And I go, that's an unfortunate name. And the guy stands up. It's the real Jeff George. And he goes, why? And I went, I go, I'm sorry, man. I was making fun of you. I figured the guy with your name would have hated it, so I was bonding over the fact that you sucked at football here in Indy. I'm a dick. My bad. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. You caught me. I don't know what to say.
You should have played it off. Just two first names. Just anybody with two first names.
No, by the way, I was so caught, I couldn't even think, dude. I was like Marco in any given moment of his life. I was like, I couldn't fucking put together a sentence. I was like, yep, you got me. You got me. I was being a dick. My bad.
And he doesn't even know you mentioned his name because he's asleep right now. So,
right?
Yeah. That brownie kicked in.
Your life is just like a series of putting your foot in your mouth and then the gaps in between them. I love it.
I mean, it happens. I mean, not all the time, but I've got one more good one where one time I was in Nebraska. These two women got in a fight, right? And there was a big, huge one, right? Like, rah! And there was this little tiny hot one. And the big one's like, you bitch! Oh, you fucking out! He was like, push. But it's Nebraska, so they don't even throw anybody out. They just separate them, right?
Right.
So, like, they don't, some chicks fought. It wasn't a big deal. They just separate. Like, so anyway, so later I'm in the bathroom, and I'm washing my hands. There's a guy next to me washing my hands. And I'm just to be friendly, just because this is who I am, I go, did you see that chick fight? And the guy goes, yeah, it was my fucking wife.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, God damn it, right? So then I go, oh, the cute little hot one? And he goes, no, the other one.
Oh, shit.
And then I had to be all like, she was cute too, man. He goes, fuck off, dude. I don't need that right now. He just laughs. I'm like, But the disappointment in his face when he said no, the other one. I've never seen anybody sadder in my whole life.
Oh, man.
I think those are good stories to end with me on, dude. I don't know if you guys are doing more podcasts or whatever, but that was fun, man. I had a good time.
We're going to wrap up. Powers, you are always welcome back. We love having you. I don't know. The next time we have you on, we will expect a foot and mouth story because you just killed it. That was awesome. Where can people find you? I know it's sdscshow.com.
Yep, and then at Bowers Comedy is for Twitter and Instagram. Chris Bowers on Facebook, and then nowherecomedyclub.com if you want to buy the origin story tickets for the digital event, which is 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. So,
all right. Well, sounds good,
you guys
man.
are awesome.
We appreciate the hell of you coming
I appreciate you guys giving Richie a podcast. Richie's one of my best friends, and he's awesome too. So I know he's doing stuff with you guys.
We
so
love
cool.
Richie.
He's killing it. Loving it.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun work with him too.
Yeah.
Check out Bacon Focus. That's a really fun project.
One time I was at Richie's house and I opened up a notebook and it said to-do list. It was numbered 1 to 30 and there was only one thing. It was number 1. It said call what's his name, and that was the end of the fucking. And I go, who was what's his name? He goes, I have no idea. I go, that's exactly the most Richie fucking thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Getting to work with him a little bit on the behind the scenes things. I think he has more than one of those notebooks.
Oh, he does. Hey, here's my actual advice: do not make Richie your shirt guy. Anyway, I love you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
See you guys.
Thanks so much,
2
Bo.
hours.
Oh,
my fucking god!
Oh, that was Chris Bowers, everybody. We are gonna wrap up, but god damn it, that was a good time. That was an hour of just pure stand up right there. That was a blast. Let's see, we gotta pay some bills. Flegs, you had mentioned a fun story about Dano seasoning this week, didn't you?
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago tomorrow, I had a tooth extracted. So I'm losing weight, people. At least 1/8 of an ounce is out of my mouth. So when you have a tooth extracted,
Hey,
Hold the
hey,
fuck
that's
up.
3.5 grams for anybody
Yeah.
else who needs to know.
I was about to say.
Thank you.
different kind of seasoning. This is not oregano. This is
Marco
just
ain't
some
dead
good
yet.
shit. This is the good shit. So when you have teeth extracted, you have to have like soft foods and stuff. So I'm eating lots of soups out of a can, soups out of a bag, whatever. And so if you're eating soup out of a can or out of a bag and you add some water to it, whatever, it's bland. It's fucking bland as shit. And so when you take some Dano seasoning, I took a package of dry potato soup, and I added some of the spicy Dano seasoning to that stuff, and it made the soup really good. And my wife even tried it, who doesn't have to eat soft foods. And she was like, this is actually really, really good. So just from a personal experience, I add Dano seasoning to roughly 80% of my foods anymore.
Yeah.
I'm back to eating solids. But through that time where I was just eating just frozen stuff that I reheat or soups or just whatever, add something to it that makes a little flavor, makes it palatable so you can have actually some decent food in your mouth. Dano seasoning, check out danoseasoning.com/ref for referral /ref/the Anomalies pod, and buy yourself some Dano seasoning. It's good stuff. It goes on everything. They've got the spicy stuff, and they've got the original. The original is more of like a citrusy, lemon, garlic, peppery kind of thing. Low sodium, no sugar. It doesn't ball up. It doesn't, crystallize in the can. Buy the big stuff because you're going to use it. Buy the big canisters. It doesn't chunk up. It doesn't do anything. Make yourself a nice steak. Enhance your seasonings and have a good time.
Hell yeah. If you guys want to check out Dano's, we'd appreciate the hell out of you, and you're going to appreciate, or your mouth's going to appreciate it. We're going to wrap up, but we are powered by the Iron Ostrich Network. Marco's life is literally falling apart. We're just going to keep moving. The Iron Ostrich Podcast Network is a collection of podcasts and content that you're going to be hearing a lot more of. It's us and the Off the Rails crew. There's going to be a lot of new fun shows coming out, and we will be pushing the shit of it very soon. So yeah, check that out, Iron Ostrich HQ on all socials. But I'm at Vanilla Gorilla. It's at K-Pasta Primo for the weed guy, shirt guy. At Trashman Ronnie, at JJ Flegel, at Tyler Allen. We are at the Anomalies Pod on Twitter and Instagram and everything like that. If you want to support us, give us a 5-star rating. Subscribe, rate, review, likes, all that good stuff. We'd appreciate the hell out of it. If you have friends that you think would like this, tell them about us. And if they don't like it, tell them to roast us on the reviews, because reviews are reviews. We'll take them all. But yeah, we are out of here. Thanks for rocking with us, everybody. Peace.
Let's fucking go.
Is he?
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
Brian.
Don't invite me to your career day.
Yeah, you ate the shrimp and had Jack Daniels, and you got fucked up.
Yeah. I'm remembering so good, Tyler.